Today drained me.
I live in a state that should not be this fucking hot, and it is. Maybe I'm just not used to being hot anymore, so I just fucking can't do this. I want to cut somebody. Hi guys, it's Luna and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about something. I was really irritated when I saw it, that it was going to be a thing, and I was right to be irritated. We're talking about Bet today. If you don't know what Bet is, it's Death Note all over again. I mean Netflix Death Note. Is a live action not even retelling, I guess adaptation, I would say. That's loosely based off of the actual anime. Kageguri, you know, what the crazy bit. I loved this anime to death. 2019 is when season 2 of that anime ended. I think there was a spin-off series.
Gay stuff.
The sheer utter and full disappointment I have that has not gone to season 3 at this point is frustrating. If I were to summarize it in the most simple way, it's about gambling. And I feel like I have to stress this part because this is what pisses me off about the live action watered down toilet water it is due to water. It's specifically about people in general who, for whatever reason, for no reason, for some reason, for weird reasons, for demonic reasons, are compulsive gamblers. And I mean compulsive gamblers to Food Wars level orgy. This horse shit is not that. I'm not gonna give you the entire rundown. If you haven't watched the anime, please watch it. I encourage you. Let me tell you why I hate this horse shit. It is somebody's assistant who watched the entire, not even that, they clipped through, you know what I'm talking about, when you don't really want to watch the anime, but you kind of want to know some of the aspects of the anime, so you're just kind of skipping through the episodes, you put on 2 times speed, but you're not really listening half the time, and then gave the summary to the director, not even that, to a writer. Let me tweak it a little, I don't really like half of this, so let me tweak half of it, and they gave that to the director, and it was just I guess this is a show, and then they filmed it. That's how I feel. Let's start with the main character. She pissed me off from the beginning. As we saw with Death Note, I get it. It's cringe. There was nothing we could have done about the cringe. That was a part of it. It's an anime adaptation. Even One Piece, as good as the animation is, and how excited I am to see Chopper in this next season, it's cringe.
Royal Blood! Big out!
There's nothing we can really do about that specific aspect of this whole thing. It's like she's cringe and cocky, but you can see very quickly she doesn't have the same feeling that Yumiko in the show had to back it up. She's intelligent, she's light level intelligent, so it works for her because she likes to gamble, but her main motivation is to gamble, but she has the criteria of at least being smart enough to outsmart these niggas to back it up. Everything she does is for the thrill, because we found out really, really quickly in the anime, this is fun for her. This is an all game. She's supposed to get to this point, and it quickly is shown it is not fun for her if that risk isn't involved. They show that one 4th or 5th episode with Crazy Bitch with the eye patch. If there's no actual risk, if there's no real gambling, it's not fun for me.
No one in their right mind would ever trust their entire fortune to a roll of the dice. And yet they love it. People still throng to casinos because they derive such pleasure from risking their very lives. So I suppose the crazier you are, the more you love to gamble.
And that also kind of showed me that this is going to turn the relationship with the rest of the cast as well, because I hate the rest of them as well. Mary was the only one that kind of stayed on brand. Mary was the only one that actually stayed on brand. She's cute. We liked it. Mary always had that attitude of I like gambling, but not. Yumiko's different. All the rest of you bitches are different. I'm just trying to keep my hierarchy and not become a house pet. That's her main goal. Yumiko's she's the extreme. And everybody else is looking at her like, you are insane. We aren't that crazy. I forget what the name of the guy was in the show, but I always call him like General Porn Guy because that's what he looks like. You don't really have to change the desperate, like, lackey boy that's in love with the main character. You don't really have to change that much. So he's kind of the same. It's very much puppy love, very much I follow her around to the ends of the earth. Their relationship isn't as close, to be perfectly honest with you, that I would like it to be. And there's the rest of these hosts. The president, which I love the president and the other one, because she's pretty much on the same time as Yumiko.
Now, you owe me 300 million yen. Do you have any way to pay such a debt? There's something else I've never seen. I've never seen the back of someone's eye socket. That seems worth 300 million yen to me. I'm so curious what kind of color it is, what kind of nerves are back there and how do they connect, and what kind of smell and what kind of blood. I don't want to read it in some book. I want to see it myself.
She's crazy and she needs to go down.
I just like doing this. This is just fun for me. This is just, this is my lineage. This is my entire family is gamblers, that we have a problem. Sure, I could lose control, but I'm not gonna, because I'm better now. Her and Yumiko have gone band for band, and as we can see, she keeps coming out on top because she's just better than, it's different. In the show, it's giving desperate. Again, when you take away any intelligence, and they keep doing this in general in shows, remakes, live actions, they just suck the intelligence right out of the character for whatever reason. When you take that intelligence out, they're just desperate hoes. Now I'm just clinging for power because I don't have any of the intelligence, so it's not fun for me. This is a job. This is something I need to do. And again, they try to give her backstory with her parents of like, her parents give a fuck and that's why she gives a fuck, and she's trying desperately to show her dad that she, and I'm just like, I don't care. And even the way she does this, it's not even clever. Which I can admit, technically, there's a risk involved there, but that's fucking normal. I'm nobody's trying to watch some bullshit about normal risk. The drug dealer risk is different than the suburban housewife risk of if she should invest in this, you know what I mean, NFT or not. Like, it's different. It's not the same. So I don't want the argument of like, well, it's a different type of risk. It's a boring type of risk. This is later down in the show, which I don't recommend watching the adaptation at all. But later down, it was very given that like, wow, they really just don't give her any edge when she like locked Yumiko in a room just so she couldn't get out to gamble because she knew she had nothing left. She's like, okay, I can't use my connections. This bitch has too many friends. I gotta lock him in a room. There's nothing else I can do.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
So most of it is based off of this murder mystery, Scooby-Doo murder mystery, where we have to find out if her parents are dead, who killed them. We have to go on a wild goose chase to find out who did it, who in the school was a part of it. They were a part of a Kakaguri club. Okay, so you were a part of a gambling club. Who was a part of the gambling club, etc., etc. And again, that would even be interesting if she wasn't so stupid.
Yumiko, we're gonna go to dinner, but I'll see you later tonight, okay?
They were trying to say like she needed a reason to get into the school, and like her being kicked out of her other school was like an alibi, and I'm like, you don't need, what are you talking about? I just want to put that out there because that never made any sense to me, and maybe I gotta go back and watch that to figure out what the hell she was talking about, because I'm like, you can just enroll into a school. Like, if you have the money and there's no need to make up a backstory of why you're in this school. Nobody cares. Because she's so dumb, she killed somebody. Because instead of getting all the facts and information, that's the whole point of her coming there. That's crazy. Instead of getting all the facts and information she needed to get to find her parents' killer, kill them correctly, she got half facts, got really mad because she got one name. Not even that, she got a nickname, if anything. She got Ray. That's all she got, not a last name, just Ray. Found somebody at least with Ray in their name, was like, it's you. And it blew them up. And then ended up blowing up her roommate, which was their kid. The thing that made me mad was that she did it. and then felt sorry because, like, oh, I blew up my roommate too. Damn. Like, she had to go, but, like, I didn't want her to. She wasn't supposed to be in the car. First of all, you didn't even know there was multiple killers. Because from what it sounded like, it seemed more of like multiple people had something to do with the situation, but she didn't even find out that much. She went to the school basically like, I'm going to find out information, found one little piece, and just went off of that. The worst part is, it ended up being that it wasn't him. He had nothing to do with this. There's like, she has a weird love interest. Again, that's not Puppy Boy. He's at least smart enough, intelligent enough to help her get to where she needs to get. It ends up being that because he's looking it up, going through it with her, going through the information, he finds out before she does that actually, in fact, it's his dad.
And here we go. I hope you're hungry for nothing.
And again, does she really confirm that he was the only person involved, that he was directly the killer, any of that? Not really, but she got the name of the actual guy she was looking for in the first place to blow up, so I think the guy's intelligent enough to know that's all she needs. Yeah, she's gonna try to kill my dad, so I probably shouldn't tell her. She ended up finding out, which, of course, she just went to go kill him. Like, what were you really expecting there? She blew up 2 people. And this is where the show low-key stops becoming about gambling very quickly. Like, halfway through it, it's not about gambling. It's about the murder mystery, Scooby-Doo shit.
Drink it, or I tell my father everything. I actually thought... What did you do?
Poisoned you with a kiss?
Oh my god. Oh my god, my dad's gonna kill me if I die at this part!
At the end there, she was just lost her mind. At that point, she was just like, I'm gonna kill this nigga. I don't care who sees, what happens. I tried to poison him discreetly. That didn't work. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go sad. There's nothing like I need to go shank him now. That's just gonna be the end of it. Bitch, I get that you're mad and you want to kill him, but like, no. Like, maybe we shouldn't try to murder people who are out of our tax bracket in such a way that they can have us murdered with just a say so. You know what I mean? Maybe we shouldn't do that. At that point, she was kind of caught, so she just drove away in a van, and I gave like a little twinkling as if like, this isn't over, like, ooh, we get into season 2. We don't want that. She's not intelligent enough to play, you know what I mean, Cold Fish. At this point, she's not intelligent enough to play Speed. At least with Death Note, it was a movie at least. And I was really mad that who was that nigga from? Who was that nigga? Was it from like the Naked Brothers band? Like Nat Wolf? I don't know why they made it to the series. This honestly could have been a movie. I would have preferred that. I didn't watch the Japanese adaptation. I've heard it's better. I'm not going to disagree with even just the look of the characters. They tried. You know, I mean, they gave people colorful hair. Because there's no reason not to at this point. As modern day as this was, there's no reason why they couldn't give people the hair color they needed to. Why there was this weird goth mask. I almost don't want to bring her up because she was one of the worst parts. But in general, the contrast between the characters in the anime and manga and here are just not. The eye patch girl, ooh, they made her so desperate. So, and it didn't, it's like I don't know why they were ruining them. Don't get me wrong, she was crazy as hell. That was her whole thing, that she was as into gambling like Yumiko, but it was almost more, less gambling as a game and more gambling with her life. Like, she was constantly either trying to shoot herself, kill herself. There's a reason she got that eye patch.
そりゃ私の指を私を躊躇なく痛めつけてくれるってことだよね。そりゃいい、お前の番だぞ虫歯み、さっさとやってくれ。さあどうぞ遠慮なく。
Crazy. You're crazy, girl.
Her being that crazy bitch, the actress is beautiful. But let's be honest here. They gave her the role of the fat, desperate bitch. And the whole thing was she was climbing after this nigga who didn't want her. And she was like, I mean, security cameras. She's watching him sleep. She looked crazy. Let's be under here. No outfit in that show made her look normal. Or even like just regular crazy, she looked crazy at all times. They just made her like an insane stalker. It was giving like, what was it, like Baby Deer, too prominent in the anime, but I know it was more prominent in the manga. I did like that the gay stuff was still there.
You want to take me to the dance.
Sit.
Is that an order? That's more like it.
I actually thought...
I need to poop. Stay or go, I don't care.
You want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Especially with what we saw in the spin-off of the anime.
勝者になるの。やっぱりメアリちゃんは救いの手を差し伸べてくれる。
With that one and her relationship with that girl, I liked that one better. And so I wasn't really as mad. One of the best things about the, I don't even remember her name. I don't remember half these people's names, honestly, because they weren't that important. The cutesy small, in the anime, she was at least like a neutral, that was her whole thing, was like, me and my group of friends are neutral parties to this. We're just here to oversee the gambling, to see that it's going on, to document it for the purpose of all the shit like money, debts, etc. putting it on people's head. You know what I mean? You got 20 racks on your head. I saw it. I was officiating it. I was there. She wasn't that. She was just kind of there in the adaptation where it was just like, okay, why are you here? Like, is it just to have like the president have like a posse of people? I'm pretty sure the glasses guy wasn't there. And I'm not even sure if no, because the vice president was there. No, yeah, the glasses guy, I don't think he was there. He might have been. I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing it. I remember seeing Suki, the girl with the fingernail problems that was, you know what I mean, taking people's fingernails as as her winnings. She was a gay guy. And she was weirdly a bigger part of this because instead of being like a rich girl from like a toy company family that was really nice quote unquote to people, etc. It was giving more like she was basically like an influencer. Or I guess he was at this point. You know what I mean? It was giving James Charles, pretty much. You really wouldn't have fans in your school. The idol girl. Yeah, that made more sense. I think they just put those two in like together, so they didn't have to make two separate characters for that. Suki was just an asshole to everybody at all times. Like, looked down on people consistently and had a house pet. They did die, but then they came back, and that was a whole... I don't know if they ever explained that. Maybe I just missed it because I just was so falling asleep half the time. And I just kept saying, like, why are you here? Like, you didn't need to die. But then again, even if he did die, okay, cool, that sums up his part of the story, understandable. But then he just came back, and I'm just like, but why? What was there really wasn't. There was never a point. Every time they did something, or there was like a change in the story of how it worked, it was just kind of like, why? You know what I mean? Most people's whole goal was, I just don't want to be a house pet. I just don't want to get into debt to the point where I'm at the bottom. If I'm just surfing at the top, if I'm just a regular student, etc., cool. Most of the time, it was, even when it was Family Matters of like, if you don't know, season 2 of the anime, it was a whole thing, like the president's cousins came, I don't know, cousins and them came, and was just trying to like beat her out of it. They weren't great. But even when it came to them, it was like, we're trying to get up in our family, but the rest of these people, we don't care about the rest of y'all. Like, there's no, like, hidden malice to where we feel like we have to beat y'all down to... If we get above her, we're good. The rest of y'all, we don't give a fuck about. We truly don't. The only reason they even like, were going after Yumiko like that was because she was a part of their family in some... Like, she was the shittiest part, you know what I mean? They were, like, down there to where nobody even knew that the president and her were related in any way, shape, or form. There's no reason you have to do this. It's actively making you look worse fucking with this girl. They try to make the parents have like a reasoning of like, oh, we're watching you and we can see that you're letting her do whatever. But I'm like, again, Yumiko was losing a lot of these battles. So again, like, she was a house pet for a good minute there, and most of the time, again, it was very obvious she's the one information. She came to school for information. You could have just given her that information. You could cover that up. If you got the information, you can cover up whatever information she doesn't get. Like, this wasn't a great show. This wasn't great. There was nothing good about this. Watch the second episode, the beginning of it. This is what I'm talking about. It gives off slight racism every time they do some shit like this. The beginning scene is going back with Yumiko's backstory. None of that matters. For some reason, the way you would do a photo shoot with your friends in high school for graduation, it's like they grabbed a handful of rose petals and took a leaf blower and threw the rose petals and let the leaf blower blow it genuinely. Or like, you know how bubble machines kind of don't disperse bubbles out? Like it almost comes out in a straight line. That's how it looked. They didn't even have the decency to like get on a ladder and like throw the, you know, the rose petal and then just have it like, or the cherry blossoms rather, and have it like flow. It was just kind of like they threw some with their hands, let a leaf blower blow. That shit made me laugh. That's the only thing I would recommend you watch about this. The rest of it's just, it's a waste of a watch. I'm not happy. My cat's throwing up. I gotta go. I'm gonna go.
Show me yours. I'll show you mine.
School time.
Huh. You gonna tie me up in front of everybody? I knew you were kinky.